Muzaffar al-Din Jahan Shah ibn Yusuf was the leader of the Kara Koyunlu oghuz Turks tribal federation in Azerbaijan and Arran, who reigned c. 1438 to 1467. During his reign he managed to expand the Kara Koyunlu's territory to its largest extent, including Eastern Anatolia, most of present-day Iraq, central Iran, and even eventually Kerman. He also subjugated neighbouring states. He was one of the greatest rulers of the Kara Koyunlu. He was also allegedly fond of drinking and entertainment. During his reign, Jahan Shah had the Gokmadras and Muzaffar theological schools constructed in his capital city Tabriz. Jahan Shah comes to power around 1420. Jahan Shah married the daughter of Alexios IV of Trebizond and Theodora Kantaka Uzine, part of the agreement being that Alexios would continue paying to the Kara Koyunlu the tribute that Trebizond had formerly paid to Timur. During the reign of his brother Kara Iskander, as a potential rival to the throne, Jahan Shah's life was not safe and he took refuge with his other brother Ispend, who was ruling Baghdad. In 1436 he obtained the help of the Timurid ruler Shah Rukh to defeat Kara Iskander and seize the throne for himself. Having been helped to power by Shah Rukh, he ruled at first as a vassal of the Timurids. In the year 1462, Abd al-Razak described Jahan Shah's rule in the following terms: owing to the benevolent administration of Mirza Jahan Shah, Azerbaijan was a highly thriving state. That well-meaning sovereign was anxious to practice justice, to secure prosperity of the country, and to treat his subjects honorably. The capital, Tabriz, by its numerous population and the prevalence of tranquility, emulated Egypt. The rumors of the good behavior of that felicitous king spread throughout the world. The inhabitants of his God-protected kingdom, indifferent to the arrows of events, enjoyed peace. Campaigns against Georgia. In 1440, King Alexander I of Georgia refused to pay tribute to Jahan Shah. In March, Jahan Shah responded by invading Georgia with 20,000 troops, destroyed the city of Samshveld and sacked Tbilisi before returning to Tabriz. He also mounted a second military expedition against Georgia in 1444. His forces met those of Alexander's successor, King Vakhtang IV at Khaltsikha, but the fighting was inconclusive and Jahan Shah returned to Tabriz once more. Conquest of Baghdad. Jahan Shah's brother Ispend, who had ruled over Baghdad and its environs for 12 years, died in 1445, and he bequeathed the government of the state to his nephew Elvan, since his son Fulad was too young at the time. However, most of the emirs preferred Fulad, as did Jahan Shah. He decided to organize a military expedition against Baghdad with the backing of some of the emirs who had sought refuge with him. After a siege of 7 months, Baghdad was captured in June 1446. Independence from the Timurid Empire. Upon the death of the Timurid ruler Shah Rukh in 1447, Jahan Shah became an independent ruler of the Kara Koyunlu, and started to use the titles of Sultan and Khan. At the same time, the Timurid Empire took advantage of the struggles among the Turkoman princes and captured the cities of Sultania and Kazvan. Conflict with the Koyunlu. From around 1447, Jahan Shah was involved in a struggle against the Koyunlu, who had always been sworn enemies of the Kara Koyunlu. Jahan Shah wanted to defeat the Koyunlu ruler, Uzun Hasan, and make him his vassal. This struggle lasted until 1451, causing both sides terrible casualties and losses. Jahan Shah set out from Tabriz with a great army on the 16th of May 1466, and came to the basin of Lake Van. While there, he was furious to learn that Uzun Hasan was raiding his lands with 12,000 cavalry. Meanwhile, Uzun Hasan, suspecting that Jahan Shah was planning to attack him, had carefully guarded the mountain passes. Envoys went back and forth between them, but because of Jahan Shah's heavy demands, an agreement could not be reached. Having advanced as far as Mus, Jahan Shah had to postpone his attack because of the onset of winter. As his troops began to complain, he decided to withdraw to a winter residence. Uzun Hasan caught his army by surprise and totally defeated them in a sudden attack on the 11th of November 1467 at the Battle of Chapikshir. Jahan Shah was killed while trying to flee, and with his death the great era of Kara Koyunlu history came to an end. He was succeeded by his incompetent son Hasan Ali. Jahan Shah had been buried in southern part of Goy Masjid, Tabriz.